Libra, my dear, listen closely because I need to tell you something right now, and it cannot wait. There is a man with silver hair, silver as cold as a winter moon, moving toward you with a purpose that does not belong to the light. This is not meant to plant fear in your heart. It is meant to awaken your awareness, to prepare you completely, and to help you stand in the full power of your own protection. Today, we are going to close the door to the shadows and seal your light so that it remains untouchable. You, Libra, are the scales of justice, the heartbeat of balance, the gentle harmony others are drawn to. But sometimes, it is exactly those pure qualities that darkness tries hardest to take. That is why this moment is sacred. You are here not by accident, but by divine alignment. Something, whether it was a dream that lingered, a strange coincidence, or an unshakable feeling in your chest, has brought you here right now. The universe has opened this doorway for you, and together, we will walk through it with intention. I want you to pause for a moment and think, what called you to this video? Was it a subtle sign you noticed recently, like a repeated image, a number that kept appearing, or a whisper from your own intuition? Or was it something you couldn't quite name, but you felt it deep down? When the universe wants you to receive a message, it will arrange everything so that you arrive exactly where you need to be. You are here because you are meant to hear this. Before we go further, let me take a moment to express my deepest gratitude for your presence here. Every time you like a video, every thoughtful comment you share, every subscription you make, you step deeper into the family of Zodiac Whisper Tarot. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Your support is what keeps this channel alive and allows me to continue bringing you transformative messages and guiding light. It is because of you that these words reach those who need them most. And trust me, Libra, you are going to want to stay with me until the very last moment today, because what the universe is about to reveal is not only extraordinary, it is going to empower you in ways you may not have imagined. This is not just another horoscope reading. This is a moment to strengthen your awareness, to guard your energy, and to remember that your light is your most valuable treasure. The man with silver hair may think he is approaching unnoticed, but once you understand the signs, you will see him coming long before he reaches your door. More importantly, you will know how to stop him without fear, without chaos, simply with the power of your presence, your boundaries, and your divine connection. I invite you to take this as a sacred conversation between you and the universe. Over the course of this video, we will explore the warning signs that may already be appearing in your life, the energetic shields you can strengthen starting tonight, and the ways you can step into an even higher version of yourself once this shadow passes. We will draw on the wisdom of astrology, the insight of tarot, the principles of the law of attraction, and the deeper currents of spiritual protection. And yes, we will also talk about the miracles that happen when faith meets action, the modern-day moments when divine intervention is not just a story, but a lived experience. Libra, your journey in this reading will not be about passively waiting for something to happen. It will be about claiming your agency, stepping into your role as the keeper of your own light, and knowing that no shadow can take what you refuse to give away. You will leave this message not only with clarity, but with tools you can use immediately in your everyday life, whether that means creating a nightly ritual of light, choosing who you allow into your emotional space, or paying attention to the subtle ways your intuition speaks to you. If you are ready to step fully into your own protection, to stand in your light without apology, then stay with me until the end. You are here for a reason, and every minute we spend together will bring you closer to understanding exactly what that reason is. Now, I want you to write in the comments right now, I am present, and my light is untouchable. This is not just for me to see, it is for you to declare, to send a vibration into the universe that you are awake, aware, and protected. Your words matter. Your presence matters. And today, your decision to show up for yourself is the first and most important step toward keeping your light safe. Libra, take a deep breath, ground yourself, and know that you are exactly where you need to be. The journey begins now. Sometimes the universe begins to speak in whispers before it raises its voice, and those whispers often come in the form of repeated patterns that tug at your awareness. When you start noticing the same car lingering in the same corner more than once, when the street falls into an unusual silence just as the day fades, or when a glance from a stranger lingers longer than it should and leaves a trace you can't quite explain, those are not moments to dismiss. They are gentle alarms, subtle but persistent, letting you know that the energy around you has shifted. For a Libra, who is naturally attuned to balance and harmony, these shifts can feel like faint ripples on a still pond, barely there, but unmistakable once you learn to feel them. You may also encounter someone whose presence seems kind, whose voice is soft and unassuming, but who, without realizing it, passes along information about you to someone else. It is important to understand that not everyone who plays a role in the unfolding of a situation is fully aware of it. Sometimes they are being moved like pieces on a chessboard by forces they themselves don't see. That is why discernment is essential now. Your ability to read not just what is said, but the intention behind it, will become one of your greatest strengths. Astrologically, Libra is ruled by Venus, a planet that inspires connection, beauty, and social grace. This means your natural instinct is to trust and to see the good in others. Your energy often feels open and inviting, making people comfortable in your presence. But in times like these, the same openness that draws genuine hearts toward you can also attract those with less pure motives. In your birth chart, the 7th house governs partnerships and open relationships. It is the arena where allies and opponents alike can step into your life. The 12th house holds what is hidden, including the influence of unseen adversaries. When certain transits activate both houses, it can be a time to raise your awareness, especially when Venus, your ruler, is involved, as it heightens the emotional and relational dynamics around you. The timing of events matters too. Sunset, the liminal hour when light begins to fade but darkness has not yet claimed the sky, is a period when energy slows. People let their guard down at this time, slipping into a softer, more relaxed state. This is why those with ill intent often prefer to approach when your defenses are naturally lower. Think of it as the in-between space, not fully day, not fully night, a time when your intuition needs to be sharper than ever. If you have been sensing these signs, even in small ways, now is the time to take them seriously. Patterns rarely repeat without meaning. Whether it's a car that seems out of place yet familiar, an unfamiliar stillness in the air, or the feeling that someone's gaze held more weight than it should have, every detail is a piece of the larger picture. These are the breadcrumbs on the path, and your task is to follow them not with fear, but with presence and clarity. In your daily life, this might mean becoming more intentional about what you share and with whom. It might mean noticing when a conversation feels slightly off, even if the words themselves seem harmless. It's not about closing your heart, it's about learning to keep the door to your inner world on a secure hinge, one you can choose to open or keep shut depending on what your inner wisdom tells you. So as you continue listening today, reflect on the small details that have caught your attention recently. Have you seen a pattern in people's behavior? Have you felt an unexplainable shift in the energy of a familiar place? Awareness is your first line of protection, and your ability to read these signs is a gift that grows stronger the more you trust it. If you've noticed even one of these signals in your own life, share it in the comments, not just to be heard, but to affirm to yourself and to this community that you are awake, alert, and ready to protect your light. It often begins with a choice, the decision to no longer leave your energy open to whatever or whoever passes by. Protection is not about living in fear, it is about creating the conditions where your light can thrive without interference. Think of it as building a garden wall, not to block the view, but to ensure the flowers you've nurtured are not trampled. The first layer of that wall begins in the mind. Every thought you repeat to yourself becomes a brick in that foundation. When you affirm each night, slowly and clearly, "My light is untouchable. My spirit cannot be violated. Every door not meant for me is closed. My sovereignty is mine to keep," you are not just speaking words, you are sending instructions to your subconscious and signaling to your energy field exactly what it should allow and what it should repel. Combining these affirmations with the 4-7-8 breathing technique allows your nervous system to settle, dissolving the body's tendency to react in fear and replacing it with a calm strength. The law of attraction responds to this steadiness, because when your focus is on safety and ownership of your space, the frequencies that match protection and autonomy begin to align with you naturally. The second layer is the space you inhabit. Your home is not just a structure, it is an extension of your energy. Every entryway, every corner holds the memory of what passes through. This is why physical action matters. Locking doors, ensuring outdoor lights are on, and consciously choosing to place protective objects at key points such as a white candle, a clear quartz crystal, or a bowl of salted water by the main entrance or near your bed sends a signal to your own mind and to anyone approaching. This is a guarded space. Visualization amplifies this. Imagine a circle of golden light wrapping around your home, every wall shimmering with a warm but impenetrable glow. Hold this image for 2 to 3 minutes until you feel the quiet assurance of safety settle into your chest. And when something arrives unexpectedly, a message, an object left where it shouldn't be, resist the urge to engage. Let the wind and light do the clearing, trusting that you don't need to handle what isn't meant for you. The third layer is a more symbolic sealing, a ritual that works not because of superstition, but because it engages both your intention and your senses in unison. The hours between 2 and 3 in the morning are still, the world quiet enough for subtle shifts in energy to be more easily influenced. Placing a clean glass of water beside your bed and writing your name 3 times is a simple but potent act. The number 3 carries the rhythm of beginning, holding, and completing, a reminder of the cycle that protects your mind, body, and spirit. In the morning, pouring that water far from your home is like releasing any intrusion that attempted to enter, sending it away to dissolve. You can add another layer by repeating, 7 times, "I am protected in the light," feeling the truth of the words in your body. 7 has long been a number of completion and safeguarding. And when you notice the time 11:11, pause for 11 seconds to set the intention, "Seal my safety," reinforcing your boundary in real time. Color plays its part too. Surrounding yourself with shades that resonate with Libra's Venus influence: white for purity, gold for strength, soft pink for compassion, and aqua for clarity is a subtle but constant reminder of your chosen frequency. Whether it's the color of your candle, your clothing, or the case on your phone, these are visual cues that anchor your intention throughout the day. When all three layers work together, the mindset, the physical space, and the symbolic seal, they form more than just protection. They create a living statement of self-respect. This is about deciding that your peace, your balance, and your light are worth guarding, not only from obvious threats, but from the small erosions that happen when we leave ourselves unguarded. If you are ready to declare that commitment today, write in the comments, "I agree to activate the three-layer shield." Say it for yourself as much as you say it for this community, because each word you speak is a step in claiming the safety and sovereignty that have always been yours to keep. It's often in the quiet moments, when the light begins to fade and the day feels as though it's exhaling, that the most telling scenes play out. Picture this: the man with silver hair moves toward you at that delicate hour, confident in his approach, believing he has calculated the perfect moment to cross into your world unnoticed. But what he doesn't anticipate is that the wall of light you've built patiently, intentionally, with every act of awareness and protection is already standing between you and anything that means you harm. This wall is not made of stone or steel, it's formed from your resolve, your clarity, and your conscious choice to keep your energy sovereign. As he approaches, he meets not an open path, but a barrier he cannot touch. Somewhere in the background of this unfolding story is the woman who once, without realizing it, made his approach easier. She was never your enemy, but she had been moving pieces in his favor, unaware of their true purpose. And then, something shifts inside her. Maybe it's a growing unease she can't ignore, or a dream that lingers into waking hours, but she begins to understand. That understanding becomes action. She destroys the object that has been his link to you, the tool that allowed him to sense your presence and monitor your movements. In doing so, she cuts a thread he had depended on, and the moment that connection breaks, you feel it. It comes not as fear, but as warmth spreading through your chest, as if someone has lifted a weight you didn't realize you were carrying. That night you sleep more deeply than you have in weeks. The silence outside your window is no longer tense or watchful, it has returned to being your companion, a space where you can rest without scanning for hidden dangers. This is the first taste of what it feels like when the ties to an unwanted presence are truly severed. But not everyone accepts defeat gracefully. If the silver-haired man senses that his attempts to get closer are failing, he may act impulsively. Darkness loses its precision when it moves in haste. And it is in that rush that mistakes are made, mistakes you will be able to recognize instantly. In such moments, the world around you might respond in ways that feel almost theatrical: a sudden noise without a source, a brief flicker of the lights, dogs barking in unison, or a sharp gust of wind cutting through still air. These are not coincidences. They are the natural signals that your protective measures are working, that what was trying to reach you is being held back. This is why it's so important to stand firm in your choice about who and what you allow into your emotional and energetic space. Say it to yourself, not with aggression, but with the calm authority of someone who knows their worth. I do not open the door of my emotions to the dark. I keep the right to choose who steps through the doorway of my life. These words become an anchor in the moments when you need to remember that your light is not a public space. It is a home, and you are the one who decides who may enter. When you begin to see patterns that reassure you, perhaps you notice 11:11 appearing on a clock, a feather landing unexpectedly in your path, or the wind shifting direction just as a thought crosses your mind, take note of them. These moments are like gentle taps on the shoulder, reminding you that you're not navigating this alone. I encourage you to share one of those signs in the comments, not just to be heard, but to help this community recognize the many ways protection and affirmation show up. Together, each story becomes part of a larger picture, one where you, Libra, remain centered, clear, and untouchable within the light you have claimed as your own. When the dust begins to settle after moments of tension or uncertainty, what comes next is the opportunity to rebuild from a place of clarity. This is where the mystical meets the practical, when you take everything you've learned about protecting your energy and begin to apply it in tangible ways to your health, your work, your finances, and your relationships. It is one thing to speak affirmations, visualize light, and trust your intuition, but it is another to anchor that energy into daily habits that make you stronger, calmer, and more aligned with the life you truly want. Your physical well-being is the foundation for all the other areas of your life. The mind, body, and energy field are intertwined, so neglecting one affects them all. Begin with the simplest acts. Turn off screens an hour before bed so your nervous system can release the constant stimulation of light and noise. Replace that time with a cup of chamomile tea or warm water, and take a few minutes to breathe deeply, not in a rushed way, but long, slow breaths that invite your body to rest. If you find your muscles tense or your mind restless, consider adding gentle supplements like magnesium for relaxation or omega-3 for mood balance, but always check with a professional before making changes. Move your body daily, even if it's just a 20-minute walk in the morning sun or stretching on a yoga mat. This isn't about pushing your limits, it's about shaking off any lingering energy from interactions or environments that didn't serve you. Choose foods that nourish rather than drain you: leafy greens, seeds, water-rich fruits, and reduce sugar or stimulants in the evening so your rest remains undisturbed. In your work life, boundaries are as essential as skills. Libra's Venus influence means you value harmony, but harmony does not mean overexposure. Avoid oversharing personal details in group channels or with colleagues who haven't earned your trust. If you feel you've drifted from the path you want, take this as a moment to reassess. Perhaps you need a change in direction, a new role, or simply a fresh skill to reignite your motivation. Write down 3 concrete steps you can take this week, small, actionable moves that bring you closer to work that aligns with both your values and your long-term vision. Financially, stability grows from both awareness and discipline. Consider using the 50/30/20 or 60/20/20 rule to divide your income between needs, wants, and savings. Protect yourself from modern risks by avoiding unverified links and enabling 2-factor authentication for your accounts. Build a safety net of at least 3 to 6 months' expenses, and give yourself the grace of waiting 24 hours before making any significant purchase or investment decision. That pause alone can be the difference between a choice that supports your future and one that drains it. When it comes to love and relationships, remember that Libra's natural gift is connection, but true connection flourishes in balance. Express your affection freely, but keep the gates to your emotional space secure. Avoid situations that instinctively make you feel unsafe: late-night meetings in secluded places, or sudden invitations that cause your chest to tighten. Learn to trust that feeling. Healthy love honors boundaries, respects personal space, and elevates both people involved. It's about raising each other's frequency, not pulling each other off balance. All of these steps in health, work, finances, and love are not just practical advice. They are the physical expression of the same protection you've been building on a spiritual and energetic level. They tell the world, and more importantly, yourself, that you value your well-being enough to act on it daily. So I want to invite you to choose just one small action in any of these 4 areas and commit to it today. Write it down in the comments, not just as a statement to me, but as a promise to yourself and a signal to the universe that you are ready to align your life with your highest intentions. When you take even the smallest step forward, you're already moving toward the balance, safety, and fulfillment that Libra energy is here to embody. There comes a moment, after the dust of struggle has settled, when you realize that something inside you has shifted forever. It is not only that the silver thread connecting you to what once threatened you has been cut, it is that your entire frequency has risen. The sharpness of your intuition now feels like second nature. You can hear the unspoken intention behind someone's words, sense the truth in their tone, and see the energy behind their actions. Without effort, you find yourself moving away from what feels misaligned and drawing closer to what feels authentic. People who carry heaviness or hidden agendas become restless in your presence, unable to stand too close for too long. Those who carry kindness and sincerity feel the opposite, a calm, a relief, as though your very energy is a safe harbor. This is the quiet strength of an automatic protective field. You no longer need to be in a constant state of guarding yourself. Your energy does it for you. And this strength doesn't just exist in the unseen. You start to notice the world reflecting it back. The wind seems to rise when you speak your intentions out loud, a candle flame remains steady as if listening, water tastes crisper and more alive, and plants in your care seem to grow with renewed vitality. These are the subtle, physical echoes of the balance you've restored. They are nature's way of affirming that the space you hold both within and around you has been reclaimed and renewed. Dreams may carry messages more vividly now. Repeating numbers, familiar songs appearing at just the right moment, or other small synchronicities weave into your days, reminding you that you are still being guided. They are the signs that the connection to your higher self, to your inner compass, has never been stronger. With this connection comes a new responsibility, and it is one you will recognize intuitively. You have become a keeper of light, a gatekeeper whose very presence shifts the energy of a space. Without saying a word, you can walk into a room and feel it begin to clear. Strangers may find themselves opening up to you, sharing truths they have never told anyone else. This is not coincidence. It is the universe placing in your path the ones who need your calm strength and clarity. To honor this new role, you can choose to perform a final sealing ritual, one that reinforces your boundaries and your peace. Place a white candle on a table, a glass of clean water beside it, and an object that represents your strength, perhaps a crystal, a small family keepsake, or something that holds deep personal meaning. As you sit before them, speak with certainty, "I seal this space in eternal light. No darkness crosses this door." Let the words settle into the air around you. Then, gently breathe over the water, imagining that any heavy or unwanted energy is being absorbed into it. Leave the water overnight, allowing it to hold what you have released, and in the morning, pour it far from your home, trusting that it will return to the earth and dissolve. This act is not only symbolic, it is a statement of who you have become. You are not who you were at the start of this journey. You have crossed through uncertainty, faced the shadow, and emerged carrying more light than before. Now, I invite you to reflect on what you feel in this moment. Has warmth returned to your chest? Has your sleep grown deeper and more peaceful? If so, write in the comments, "I have touched the wall of light," as both a declaration and a gift to yourself. In doing so, you are acknowledging not just the victory, but the transformation, the undeniable truth that your light is now, and always will be, your strongest protection. Libra, as we come to the close of this journey together, I want you to take a deep breath and let the truth settle in your heart. Your light cannot be stolen, and your spirit is untouchable. Everything we have explored today, every image, every practice, every moment of awareness, has been guiding you toward one truth: you hold the authority over your own energy. You decide who steps across the threshold of your life, and you decide which doors remain closed. This is not about living in fear, but about standing in clarity, knowing that the balance you protect is what allows you to thrive. Think back on what has resonated most with you. Was it the moment you imagined the wall of light standing between you and anything that seeks to dim your glow? Was it the quiet strength of recognizing a sign and knowing, without doubt, that you are protected? Or perhaps it was the practical steps, the health rituals, the boundaries at work, the intentional choices in love and finances that made you realize how your everyday actions become an extension of your spiritual and energetic protection. Which one will you carry forward starting tonight? And more importantly, how will you remind yourself daily that your sovereignty is not something to be negotiated? I encourage you to choose just one boundary you will keep, one affirmation you will say every evening before sleep, and let it become a seed you plant in the soil of your life. That seed will grow into a habit, and that habit will grow into a natural way of being. Over time, you will no longer have to think about protecting your light. You will simply live in it, and it will shield you effortlessly. Remember, the universe responds to certainty. When you walk in your truth, when you affirm your worth, the path ahead begins to clear. Doors open not only for your safety but for your growth, your joy, and your purpose. And as you stand firm, you will find that you begin to inspire others. Your example becomes a beacon for those who are still learning to protect their own energy, and your presence in their lives can be the catalyst for their own transformation. That is the quiet power of living in alignment. You change more than just yourself. So tonight, as you rest, picture that golden light wrapping around your home, your body, your thoughts. Know that you are supported, that the work you have done here matters, and that you are not alone in walking this path. In moments of doubt, return to your breath, return to your affirmations, and remember what we spoke of today. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for spending this time with me here on Zodiac Whisper Tarot. Every like you give, every thoughtful comment you leave, every subscription you choose, these are not just numbers, they are threads weaving this community together. Your support allows me to continue bringing you messages that uplift, protect, and inspire. Now, I invite you to take a step of affirmation. Write in the comments, "I choose light and sovereignty." This is your declaration, your agreement with yourself and with the universe that you are stepping fully into the life you deserve. If what you've heard today has touched your heart, share this message with someone who needs it, subscribe if you haven't yet, and let's continue walking this path together. May you leave this moment feeling at peace, may your sleep be deep and restorative, and may the golden shield of protection surround you always. You are light, Libra, and that light is yours to keep.